Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 820 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me in 2024, we have Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Rob Roseboom.
It's the future. The future's now.
It's the biggest numbered year yet, guys.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's going to be better.
2024.
Right?
I'm not wholly convinced that I thought I was going to make it to this year.
Is there like
you know what? Me either.
Yeah. Well... All right,
Boy,
movies that take place in 2024.
Oh, there was one that was really funny.
No, that's not. This is movies in 24. Movies set in 2024. There's a Wikipedia page for that. Good.
I mean,
there was one that was 2023, late 2023, that we would have all enjoyed.
Carnage was set in 2024.
No, it was like one of those, like,
A Boy and His Dog.
Skynet became SWAT, that kind of thing,
Yeah, I was wondering, I can't remember when Skynet was supposed to.
Well, they changed it every movie.
Yeah, they did. They kept on pushing it forward.
They keep retconning. They are certainly not bogged into their canon. Well, let's see what we got on the list. Well, do either of you need a Concorde engine?
Oh, I mean, who doesn't need a Concorde engine?
I'm not sure needs the right word.
Want?
I mean, can you imagine how fast the shits and giggles would go with that mounted on it?
Oh, God. We would get the
Probably not very fast because it would sink immediately, unless you had like a barge, unless the shits and giggles grew.
No way, where it's docked, though, is only a few feet. So it would just go down a little bit.
But we'd have to ride on top of the engine.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
could go wrong.
It's a big engine,
So they want like what, $790K for it, and they are very clear it is inoperable and it is meant for a museum.
Yeah, I mean, what museum is gonna be like? It's just an engine. We already have 1 million of those, dude.
It's a Concorde. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, but it's
also
there's no spirit of the Concorde in the engine. I mean, the engine is the same engine from what? It's just an LM 1600 or whatever. I mean, who cares? I guess the afterburner is special.
To jam that? Can you imagine trying to jam that into priority mail envelope? I mean,
yeah,
that'd be a nightmare.
Well, I'm looking at these clear, forklift holes here, and I'm like, is that just like a normal forklift or like a super engine forklift? So. They
have a Concorde at the Udvar Hazy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
it's neat.
Man, the Evergreen Air Museum was so cool. But they didn't have a Concorde. I think they had a model of it. But, yeah.
It's only a model.
It's only a model.
So let's see. Congress has a recommendation that in our ongoing and escalating, soon-to-be colder war with China, we should put satellites at the Lagrange points as like a defensive action. And this story kind of weirded me out. Like, I guess, yeah, of course, but also, oh no.
Well, it's a stable orbit, but it's also an orbit that collects a lot of debris.
Stuff.
Well, no, I mean, like when they would fly through the Lagrange points early in the space program, they would get micropitting. And they're like, why do we get it more when we're going through here? Oh, I guess it's a gravitational stability zone.
Well, that's what they're talking about with James Webb, too. That's floating out there in Lagrange point, right?
Yeah, but it's a solar Lagrange point, so it's not as
bad.
I guess. I don't effing know. I don't know why the Lagrange points attract more, micrometeorites and stuff.
Probably for the same reason we want to put stuff up there, because it's a stable orbit.
Yeah. It sounds like this is part 1 of our 12-point series, our investigative report about what makes Lagrange points.
So cool. Like, let's go there.
And bad.
Can we go there as can we expense it to the Geeks in Space budget and travel there?
Given our central conceit is that we're in orbit,
that's true.
We just have to change our orbit.
We just need more rope.
Yeah.
We extend another 100 feet of rope and see if we find anything. If we don't find anything, we get another 100 feet of rope.
Only one of us needs thrust, and the other can just get towed.
That's true.
Well, what's funny about it is, Lagrange, it was an Italian scientist, right? In the 1787 time frame,
Mhm.
right? What cracks me up about this is, if you think about the spaghetti westerns, so you have an Italian in space lassoing satellites, and we can go on now.
That's
All
right. Guys, did you make it through Christmas without injuring your man bits?
Oh yeah, I saw that. The wrist
Well,
yeah.
I did. Yeah, there was the door accident, but other than that,
The
everything was
incident.
fine.
But you're always slamming doors. It's bound
Yeah,
to
I am
happen.
slamming doors.
I've been trying to up my present wrapping game, so the paper cuts were awkward.
Yeah. So this story is that apparently penile fractures increase
Boy,
over
that
the
word.
holidays, and like the fact that that was a headline that I got to read, that one made me pretty
But
happy.
specifically, if I remember right, just over Christmas,
Yeah.
like they looked at New Year's, and for whatever reason, people aren't breaking their genitals on New Year's,
No.
just Christmas.
Well,
So
if New Year's for other people is like it was for me, I had just enough alcohol in me that like I'm just gonna go to bed now.
Mhm.
Anyway, that story made me laugh. The intimacy and euphoria may be behind the spike.
Yeah.
So there's a picture with the dude. I'm gonna screenshot that so we have a screenshot because that guy's holding Han Solo's original blaster from A New Hope.
Mhm.
That's pretty friggin' neat. I wonder how much it's gonna sell for.
it's +5 if you shoot first.
Too soon, man.
Yeah, is it though? I mean,
No. I mean, it makes a lot of people mad if you shoot first.
I've heard that.
Yeah. All right. I didn't. I did share this one. The Never Break Up with the Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. honestly.
So it's just a funny gag. As Vengeance, the broken up one, put signs up that were call this number and give your best Wookiee roar in order to win a prize. So this poor gal is getting calls at all time of day
no.
with people just doing their Wookiee impression.
Yeah,
And
okay.
like, I mean, of course that's a crappy thing to do, but on the scale of crappy things to do for vengeance on an ex, that's pretty dang funny.
I mean, it's better than stalking her, right?
Right. I mean, you're outsourcing it to other people.
Also,
I can get
do
a better picture of that.
people actually answer their phones?
That's true. This is probably old.
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I actually answered my phone without looking at it first.
Well, you called me like last summer for something. And that might be the last time that I answered my phone.
Did you give him a Chewbacca roar? Very guttural in its
Kathleen
most
has
charming.
a brown hoodie that's very fuzzy, and we refer to it as her Ewok pelt.
Ewok belt.
That's I just like originally I just started calling her Chewbacca, and she decided that's not cool because she's short. So now it's her Ewok pelt.
Yeah.
And so now I just like to think about how she would fight and destroy an Ewok.
I mean, it implies that she has hunted the Ewoks,
Right.
and used their pelts for clothing, which is remarkable.
Indeed.
Wait, did she get back together with the guy? That's the question. If she did, then
I
that's
certainly
bad.
hope not.
I mean, I wouldn't. if I
No,
were
because that's
her.
a dick move.
Super dick move.
That's the mic drop on your way out of the relationship.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We lost a Rob.
Oh no.
I blame Elon Musk.
Yeah. Starlink bastards.
That's right. Well, we can talk about Ingenuity because it got up. And what did
It got up.
It got up for what? It's now gone 2,315 feet.
Wow.
It's yeah. I mean, this thing is just awesome. It
I
has
mean, it
spent
is pretty cool.
125 total minutes flying.
Wow. That's more than most drone pilots, do in their whole lives.
I've probably only had my drone up for half that.
No, I think I've done it for more. I use it to inspect my gutters every summer,
Because your
But
gutters are gross.
No, I mean, they're gutters, So I just want to make sure they're clear, and if not, I'm not great on ladders. So Christine likes. She goes up and she cleans them out. It's very satisfying.
I have a gutter on my roof that I can't get to because I am also scared of heights. And it's just this one spot where all the leaves, and there's still leaves there. And I'm afraid that if I don't go out there and clean them, that my whole roof is gonna do an ice dam this year. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a metal roof, just a normal peaked roof, and so that's not the problem. It starts like the water starts coming over the edge though that first year, and so I rigged up one of those sections of pipe with a little curve on the top, and I stuck a GoPro on top.
Yep.
And
If you had
did moderate
ingenuity,
damage to the gutters, but it worked.
if you had ingenuity, though, you could just attach a little hook to it.
Well, there are some people who have used drones to clear out, their gutters with like a weird attachment. But I'm like, it doesn't really work very well.
Yeah, drones are not. They're not that stable, and they're not that strong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, exactly.
All right. So Alexander Skarsgård is going to star in an Apple TV. Skarsgård. He's going to be in Murderbot,
which is incredible.
It's a great book series. There's a new volume of that. I think that's just coming out too.
Yeah,
I haven't read it yet.
We went to Margaret Wells's. She had a signing event in kind of near Everett in the Seattle area, and so me and our second born, we were keen on that, so we went and checked that out. That was super. So
I don't read a lot of books, but Mr. Jeffrey Bates ordered me to read this one, so I did, and it's really solid.
Well, we audiobook a lot of things, and they've both done the straight reading and also dramatizations of all the Murderbots now. So yeah.
Well, that's cool. It's the premise too lends itself really well to a series.
Yeah, it really does.
It's not one of those things where it's like it's all about the big overarching story. It's really more about this weird character and a not so subtle commentary perhaps on neurodiversity.
What cracks me up is it's saying from Paramount Television Studios and About a Boy creators Chris and Paul White. So I'm like, About a Boy. Okay.
Different. Sure. One of these things is not like the other.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
David S. Goyer.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be good.
But he's got some good stuff on his resume.
Well, it turns out the creator and was from those guys. That's cool.
Yeah. And look at Goyer's list right now. Silo is awesome. For All Mankind is awesome.
Well, I mean, Goyer he's a mixed bag.
Yeah, he really is. You don't want to go through that list.
He's prolific, but
if you go through the list, you're and start throwing darts, you're gonna start feeling sad.
Yeah. It's like for every blade, there's like, Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Rob.
Hey.
Did the Starlink satellite hit a Lagrange point micrometeorite?
No, Consumers Energy just wanted me to know that even though we haven't had a big ice storm yet, power could go out at any moment. So they just want to keep me on my toes, right? Absolutely nothing's happening outside. For whatever reason, the power just went out for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Well, the next one on the list is the city being run by AI, which I read on a device that had a login for the Wall Street Journal, but on this device I don't have one. But the story was that they used AI to write a law, and now they want to try to use AI to write all the laws and just kind of do all the things, which is going to be fine for them.
What could go wrong? Is this in Canada or I can't?
Well, I mean,
don't have a
Brazil
journal.
It says it's working.
Brazil.
Also, this was a free one, so you should be able to just read it.
Ooh. It wasn't.
That's why I included it. Otherwise, I don't usually.
I can't believe you did that.
I know it's not free for me right now. But I did read this because it's a funny story.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's keep going.
Yeah. I don't know who posted the unexplained phenomenon. I watched it this morning. It's interesting.
Yeah, so basically it's like a supernova, but it keeps going. Like it goes whomp, whomp, whomp. I mean, not that fast, but
wow.
It's like an internal combustion engine, but stellar sized. I mean, he never says that, of course, because that would be ridiculous. But yeah, it's really interesting.
So he doesn't claim it's a Galaxy engine.
No, he doesn't, which is a shame, because I think Anton would see an increase in subscribers if he started going full mega structures.
Wave motion gun, maybe?
Oh,
wave motion gun, yeah. I mean, I think it's got to be a combination of like some gravitational collapsar, or just like a spinning collapsar might do it.
Or just Leader Deathlock is preparing.
Maybe.
Deathlock. We've got a just to follow up with our never-ending Voyager 1 stories. It's apparent like a few weeks ago we were hearing that it was dead. Now it's just sending back nonsense. But we still got a signal.
Is it nonsense, or do we just not get what it's trying to say?
So this is the part where we make our V'ger jokes.
Yep,
and the heliopause.
Yeah.
Maybe it learned something in the heliopause that it's trying to tell us.
It's don't come here.
Yes. Yeah,
has anyone figured out if it's really showing everyone a hydrogen atom, really? To
no, maybe.
No?
I mean, or it's a Rickroll, right? So
yeah. The golden record
never
is charting.
Going to give you up.
It would be pretty cool if it had that kind of sentience.
Sure.
Let's see. All right. We've got
Beavers.
This story reminded me of our good friend who likes beavers. And I didn't even mean that in a gross way, but this story is about satellites that they're using to track beaver patterns in California.
Yes. That's what it's about.
They worked with the good
folks. They worked with the good folks over at Google to look at what lands were covered in swamp and which ones weren't. And then if they see something that's potential beaver, they send someone out to check out. Yep, that's beaver.
Okay.
Still beaver.
Oh, yep. Good Lord. Still bringing out this old canard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Not Cunard, but canard.
Canard. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like this stuff. I like that satellites.
Well, the idea that that these things can stretch more than a half a mile across, that's incredible. Fucking beavers are the best,
Oh yeah, they when I was living up in the UP, there were quite a few people who beavers got on your land. A lot of people have hunting land up there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to dynamite them, raise them up. They're huge.
Yeah. They're impressive creatures. They are designed to survive.
Yeah, they are. I don't even know worked on those. Yeah.
I love the weird things that we figured out how to do with satellites since we got the tech. Like, I love, like, every now and then they're like, oh, we think we found a new pyramid or whatever. Because you can't see it from the ground because it's been eroding for millennia. It's got stuff, that stuff's cool.
It is neat,
And the best way to read this kind of information, of course, would be on a diagonal monitor. And the good news, this must be the year of Linux on the desktop.
Right.
because Linux is now the only operating system that supports monitors at a diagonal.
That are unusable.
Yeah.
You should change the link. Not that anyone follows our links, but you should change the link to the actual post from the guy. There's so many people who are just like ripping
it off. Well, they always do.
Yeah, people are rip-off artists. But yeah, so he started with just a normal widescreen monitor. Then he went totally vert, and then he was like, I think I should rotate it until I have the largest possible screen for my code.
Yep.
So this is the diagonal maxima.
That's a guy who thought about the single space versus tabs versus two space indenting, and is all like, how about if I never press enter? Then I never have to worry about how many spaces are on the left-hand side.
Yeah, this kicked off a totally reductive and predictable discussion on the proper line length limits for source code. And I'm like, I'm too old for this shit, man.
Right. I truthfully have a hard time when when my widths get wider than about 80, and I still keep my terminals at 80 just because that's what a terminal was when I was on a DOS screen in 1989.
Yeah, I've got a Debian machine that thinks it's on a 4K monitor over here, and I'm like, dude, the type is so small. I have to fix that.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
Yeah, XR&R settings. There's a whole. If you follow the revised link. you can see the.
And if you think that we've gone too far with this amazing advance in Linux technology, the good news for people who lived in Switzerland is that suicide pods have been ruled legal. I
have to tell you, you know what it looks like then?
It looks fun.
Looks like they've been playing the game. You know?
Yeah, I know.
Our little, new woo skin, pods. Yeah. So, yeah.
I can't remember. Are these the ones that fill up with nitrogen?
Yeah. So you don't choke. You don't like choke if you fill them.
Just go to sleep.
You go to sleep.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, all right then.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Wouldn't it be more fun if that thing just launched out into space or into a wall at like 100 miles an hour? Or
Time cop style.
Time cop.
Just
except for flat.
Yeah. Pulled enough G's that it just broke everything inside you or something,
if they just spin it fast enough, people would turn into tomato paste kind of quickly.
Exactly.
And they'd pass out because of the G forces almost immediately. So there you go. Put it at the end of a really long cable and swing it,
Well, it's nice to know that this will be an option for us.
It shoots into the ocean until it's crushed.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to take grandma out, and
they wash off the tomato paste.
Yeah.
So
this way,
who needs that?
Just down to the bottom of the ocean. No muss, no fuss.
So I hadn't followed the article until now, and I was like, oh, it's just like something that's on the street. You just walk in, and then like when they do pick up the garbage, you just grab whatever bodies are in there,
Ugh. Yeah. Ambaloo rightly asks who's emptying them.
Yeah, right. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Well, it's Switzerland, so it's probably immigrant labor. They really the only time they like Brazilians and the rest is when they're doing the jobs that they don't want to do.
Yeah, but that's why the Brazilian AI wrote the law to ship people over there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It got kickbacks in microchips.
Hey, who could have seen this coming?
Yep. The Times is suing OpenAI and Microsoft for copyright infringement. And they got some good examples of it regurgitating pretty significant blobs of text.
Articles. It's like, ooh, that's a bad look.
There's been a bunch of versions of this story. One that I really liked. There was
the Silverman or whatever.
There was one about I think it was a Stable Diffusion story, but they were generating pictures and they were talking about generating copyright infringing imagery without using copyright infringing terminology. And the examples, they were generating pictures that had C-3PO in them, and they were like classic sci-fi robot. And then you just
in front of a spaceship.
Yeah, basically a C-3PO. And they were just talking about how these things have obviously been trained on all this data. And
yeah, but at the same time, it's the actual use of that image that's the infringement, not the, trademark or trade dress infringement. It's not the actual, if I asked you to draw a golden droid in front of a cool ship named after the Space 1999 Falcon,
right.
It's like you're gonna not the Falcon, what do they call the Eagle in Space 1999, right?
Yep. I knew what you meant. I don't know. This is a weird
Star
thing.
Wars stole the name, is what I'm saying.
That's right.
So now they're upset that other people are being inspired by them when they were inspired by.
They were very Greedo about their names.
1999 is 1 year less than the millennium, and Eagle is not a falcon. Like, okay,
totally different bird.
Good. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the George Lucas, right?
He's fine. He's doing great.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I know it's been tough times for him, but he's doing okay.
Yeah, right. Watching his creation be turned into.
So the Times is demanding that basically any model that was trained on their text is destroyed, deleted,
destroyed.
We're going to live in some interesting times in the next few years as the mega powers try to figure out where the moats get to be drawn around their around.
I think it's going to fall back to what's fair use, what isn't fair use, who gets to own an idea or a concept, and the expression thereof. So 14 years from now, we'll have an answer. But it's funny you mentioned. You mentioned something that made me think. One of the lawsuits against OpenAI has already failed. It was one of the. It's creating paintings that look like I did them.
Yeah,
you know,
the stylistic copies.
lost it, and they're like, sorry, that's not a thing, and like the judges threw him right out.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know, and I don't think that there's. I guess all I can do is think about it like in the terms of like how Mickey Mouse is now in the public domain now and rules like that. And my interest in that sort of thing more has to do with it makes me angry in my guts when people say artists can't use stuff.
Yeah.
And like, okay, if you want to remix, like, I feel like you should be able to remix Dark Side of the Moon by now. Like, that album is older than me. Like, everybody who's made money off that can be done making, like, I feel like that was long enough, but like I just, so I guess I'm just bitching that copyright stuff takes too long and the public domain should grow faster. But this is like real time stuff. They trained this on news articles from the last couple of years. I don't know. And we got a book from Amazon, How to Talk to Your Cat About Gun Safety, Abstinence, Drugs, Satanism, and Other Dangers That Threaten Their 9 Lives.
Does it have a chapter on Dungeons and Dragons? I mean, it feels a little sketch.
That's Satanism, right?
The American Patriots Association? What is this nonsense?
I hope this was written by AI.
This book saved my cat's 9 life.
Yeah, I think this is a joke.
I hope so.
No, it's a real book. It's just
no, I realize it's a real book, but I don't think it's
there's an Audible
from some right winger who's like, this is
how the other book he wrote was A Field Guide to the Aliens of Star Trek. Okay, all right.
This does seem like a book you could use an AI to write pretty easily.
Yeah.
Also, beautiful cover.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What a cutie pie.
So adorable.
The gun. Give the cat a gun.
Little kitty wants to touch a gun. Oh, don't do that. That's dangerous. Let's have a talk, cat. I can't talk to my cats about anything. Sometimes they just bite me.
Yeah. Well, my cat, listen, I don't have a dog. They need a lot. I don't have a lot to give. I don't have a lot left. I've drawn down to the bottom. But the cat, it's enough. The cat shows up at like 4 a.m. and he starts purring. And I'm like, all right, I'll pet you. Fine. If I try to pet him at any other time, swipe. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll take the cat at his, level. I'm good with that. I'm allergic to the bastard.
Right. Pierce Brosnan, guys. James Bond is in the news.
Or Remington Steele.
Nobody thinks of him as Remington Steele.
Or the Matador.
Or the guy from Mamma Mia.
The father from
Mamma Thomas
Mia.
Crown. Come on, yeah. Thomas Crown.
Thomas Crown's a good movie. I enjoyed that.
That was a great movie. Yeah.
But he's still James Bond. I mean.
So anyway, yeah, he decided to walk off the trail, go out the demilitarized zone out in the thermal area. And,
I mean, he didn't burn his leg off, which
Yellowstone.
is nice, but yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to leave the boardwalk, right?
Right.
So.
But he's all like, I'm a famous actor.
Yeah, I'm a famous actor. My shoes are made of asbestos, But yeah,
it's weird that federal park laws finally caught 007 when all those supervillains couldn't.
Right.
Right.
I expect you to pay your fine, Mr. Bond.
No.
What's my name? I'm Xenia.
The Broccolis can pay
the boardwalk. Yeah.
Broccoli.
It's broccoli. Yeah, it's the broccoli family. I met one of them, in Britain. But yeah.
And I didn't read this last one that you shared, the Elizabeth Line testing ways of banishing its ghosts in the walls.
So you remember Coming to America, the Soul Glow? It's the hair oil, so, I kept on thinking about Soul Glow, when they told me about this. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's your Soul Glow. Anyway, so they're going to put stickers up. There you go. They fixed it. So,
but those were ghosts
to this. No, the people call them the ghosts. They're just people
it's human
marks.
Filth.
It's human filth.
Oh,
See?
I see.
The shoulders,
it's a
head,
bench.
and body.
Yeah, and that's their soul glow, you know, their hair oils and hairsprays and gels
Oh, that's so
and
gross.
sweat and
And
grossness.
yeah.
That story is not as fun as I thought when we posted
When I
it.
posted it, yeah.
I thought we were gonna I thought there was gonna be like EKG meters.
It's your soul glow.
No,
Do you think those marks were shadow people on the wall?
I just posted the
Or-
link. I didn't look
Oh.
at it. Chris shared it, but I saw the title and I was like, oh, cool, ghosts. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I mean,
Sure, you know,
they're oily ghosts.
oily ghosts.
They're not ghosts. They're people.
They're people stains.
They're just stains. I have those in my house. They're not ghosts. My kids just don't shower enough.
I mean, they could try like using a cleaner, I would guess. But, you know.
Dawn
Well,
power wash.
remember, those walls are not like normal materials. They're supposed to be more graffiti proof and all this other stuff. And I'm like,
Well, even better, right?
but
Like,
they're not hydrophobic. You know, I guess they're not oleophobic. You know, but yeah.
I mean, if you are lining your commercial kitchen with something, there's certain materials you have to use
Yeah,
for ease of
yeah.
clean.
That's
It just
right.
seems to me that they would use something like that
Yeah.
here where the public is. But
Yeah, well, it's funny,
maybe
you know,
not.
in some of the other lines you have literal metal walls, you know, just, you know,
Yeah.
steel perforated walls, and they do the ventilation through them as well. But like, yeah.
I can't get over the shoulders. The head part I get.
Sure.
People are sweaty, you come from the gym,
Well,
you have good
maybe
hair
like
product.
it's raining out and then I'm blue.
Maybe those are just shorter people.
I'm blues. It's like the shadows at Hiroshima. I'm like, yes, you know, this is the thing they didn't tell you about the Elizabeth line when Queen Elizabeth died. You know, the second, obviously, not the first.
Not the first one.
You know, they if you were on an Elizabeth line train when that happened, they killed you with a nuclear weapon. So that's the shadows from the immolation crowd during her death.
Yeah,
You know, they also took her footmen and put their organs into canopic jars. And
she
buried
went
them up
really,
there.
really old school with her, with her funeral arrangements.
I'm taking you with me.
You shall serve me forever. You know, my subjects, come join me in the afterlife. You know, so
sure. Did anybody get any good media in the last 10 days worth watching?
I watched Saltburn.
Oh, is that any good? I have it on my list.
Actually, I really liked it. So there's a whole like flavor of movie, which is person enters into the world of rich people and completely fucks them up, like Talented Mr. Ripley and all kinds of things like that. And this is actually a wonderful example of the con men coming in and just destroying a rich family. It's like, wow. You know, it's really unflinching too. It's wonderfully filmed. It's really beautifully filmed. So
yeah, that's on my to-do list.
I totally recommend it, honestly. And we had just wrapped up. We're caught up with oh crap, what's the name of the show? Reacher.
Oh yeah, I watched the first couple episodes of the season. It's fun.
It's great. It's exactly what you expect it to be.
It is
what
the
that
beat.
guy is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise version.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Cruise's version wasn't terrible, but he's too short. He's
a
no
little
Alan fucking whatever this guy is. Rich I mean, he's Hulk. So big. Yeah. You know, it's just like, geez, this guy. Well, so the central conceit of Reacher is that he just goes into a thrift store and buys clothes, and I'm like, no thrift store has clothes that big. You know,
right?
That's just not a thing. You know,
you haven't lived in the Midwest long enough.
No, that's true, but he's not in the Midwest right now, right? In this episode, so.
I watched. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's called Dead End Drive-In.
Oh, it was mentioned in one of the lists of movies.
I just watched it yesterday, and I gotta say, I kind of loved it. Yeah? It's Australian. It's from the 80s, and it's sort of like a prequel to a Mad Max, maybe. Like society has collapsed, and everybody is sort of like devolved into like stereotypical 80s gangs. And the guy takes his girl to the drive-in, and while they're there, somebody steals the wheels off his car. And then so he can't leave, and when the sun comes back up, he realizes that everybody that's in the drive-in is essentially a prisoner there. And the drive-in is basically where they're keeping all the hoodlums, and there's no escape. So it's basically a prison for gang people, or like the dregs of society or whatever. And as it goes on, it becomes an incredibly not subtle commentary on capitalism and racism, but it's totally watchable. The performances are all really fun. There's some really dramatic, fun visuals, very low budget. Top marks for what it is.
Cool.
I mean, I definitely recommend it. It's the kind of movie that we definitely would have watched when we were doing the Geeks in Space movies. If one of us had seen it as a kid, because it's that kind of movie.
So
it's good.
I did see it as a kid. I just don't remember it. You know, it was one of those movies that was on heavy rotation on the crappy cable systems at the time, and on late night TV. So
I also last night with my kid watched one I haven't seen in a long time. Do you remember Dave with Kevin Kline?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a perfectly charming, feel-good.
It's basically
movie.
the pre-West Wing movie, right? That and The American President.
It feels a little like it, yeah.
No, I mean literally the same people worked on it. So
it just feels it's Ivan Reitman and not Aaron Sorkin, but
he worked on The American President though. So,
Ivan Reitman did?
No, Sorkin did.
I know he wrote it, but this is not that.
That's not what we're talking about. No. I get it, but
I mean, but it does have the same wouldn't it be great if America was a functional thing and government worked? But it also has the thing where what they're doing here is not what the president does. That's not the president's job. Why is Kevin Kline get to do that? That's not at all how any of this works.
Yeah,
but it's a really I gotta find
Langella as the operator guy, right?
Yeah. Sigourney Weaver is the first lady.
Yeah.
And Ving Rhames is the security guard.
Godzilla played himself.
Of course. I actually kind of like Monarch, how that's been going.
Oh, yeah. I haven't started that yet. I really want to do that.
It's simple.
It's way too slow.
Oh, for sure.
Is it slow? Yeah.
And I don't give a shit about any of the kids.
Oh, yeah. I want them to fast forward to the 50s storylines.
Yeah. But unfortunately, half of the show is the mysterious kids and let's find my dad. Oh, we did find him, but then he went away again. Whatever. More monsters.
Yep.
Give me monsters. Tell me how that works.
You're gonna get one monster at the end of each episode.
Barely.
But yeah, and not enough. But I enjoy it for what it is. I wish it moved faster, but I've been enjoying it. For All Mankind has been really good this season too. It's
should I return to it? It
started a little slow, but in the latter half of the season, something interesting is happening, and I'm enjoying it. And I have a theory about what's going to happen. But I hope I'm right, because if what I think is going to happen, it happens, it's going to be cool, and I'm a genius.
Well, I think I need to wrap it up.
Alrighty.
We should do this again on Friday and get back into the habits.
The usual time.
Yeah.
We'll make 2024 the real year that Geeks in Space
breaks out.
Yeah.
The oldest podcast on the internet.
Smash that subscribe button.
Oh, no, God.
Share with your friends.
Really crank up our marketing efforts.
Yep. Yeah. That's right.
We should have merch.
Oh, yeah, we should have merch. All right. Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
I'll have an AI design it.
There you go. Yeah. Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Bye.
That was episode 820. I was Rob Commander Taco Malda, and you heard Chris. We'll be back Friday. Bye.